On the record, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Ahmad Ross, 24-01324. Parents, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Haley Fortunato on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Ross, who joins us via Polycom.
Okay, Mr. Ross is presently in the Michigan Department of Correction. This was a pre-trial conference for domestic violence. How are we proceeding on this?
There's no offer at this time.
We'd be asking for a final free trial.
Free trial April 28th at 8 a.m. Jury trial. June 16th at 8 a.m.
Final pre-trial April 28th a.m., 8 o'clock a.m. That'll be via Zoom, so that MDLC does not have to transport.
Thank you.
And then the jury trial will be June 16th, 8 o'clock in the morning, in person at the court. You have any questions for today, Mr. Ross?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, any additional matters for the record, counsel?
On behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Nothing further. Thank you.
Thank you. You're all set, Mr. Ross.
Thank you.
You're welcome. On the record, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Clayton's Blendell 24-02054. Appearance, please.
Haley Fortunato on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Ms. Blendell, who's approaching the council table now.
Okay, Ms. Blendell, let's see. I reset this after our last court date so that she can bring everything into compliance. Is that where we are now?
It is, in fact, Your Honor. She's provided me some documentation showing proof of compliance on the community service. She has enrolled in a GED program. They didn't give her any documents for enrollment in that, but she's enrolled with Northwest Initiative, and she brought some of her classwork that she's been doing to show that she's doing her classwork. She is also attending AA, and she submitted some emails to me providing confirmation of her attending Zoom AA at least twice since the last hearing. I believe there's been some more, but she's done her two required meetings since the last hearing.
Okay, very good. I'm happy to hear that you've gotten back on track, and my expectation is that you'll remain on track. With that being said, I'm going to, and I don't have a note here indicating whether or not I actually took a plea, but I'm going to go ahead and withdraw the violations at this time, continue her probation until the 29th of July. You'll continue to report as ordered to your probation officer on the monthly scheduled report date, okay? Do you have any questions for the court?
No, Your Honor.
Any additional matters for the record?
Not on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Nothing further. Thank you.
Thank you, you're all set. The record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Bryant, 24-02487. Appearance, please.
Haley Fortunato on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Bryant present. You can remove the MDLC.
Oh, okay. I just did it.
It's on here, but he just logged, like when you called his name, just logged off. Okay, well, maybe you'll log back in. Oh, he's there. Maybe he's having an issue. Mr. Bryant, can you hear us?
Yeah,
Okay, start your video, please.
I went to the wrong room when it started.
No problem.
I believe he's already completed an application for our office.
Very good.
Not, oh,
James unable to talk.
oh.
Okay. On the record again in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Mr. Bryant. Mr. Bryant, this matter states here that you have a request and summons for probation violations alleging that you failed to refrain from alcohol per JSG Scram confirmed consumption event peak TAC of 0.041% on March 14, 2024. There's also allegations that you failed to submit to Scram Tether per GSG, a Scram confirmed obstruction event at 10:36 p.m. on 3/13/2024 until 10:52 in the morning on March 14th, 2025. So you have the right to have a contested hearing on the violations. You have the right to have the prosecution and the probation department bring evidence to establish your guilt as to those violations. And if you're found to be guilty, your probation status can be revoked. You can be sentenced to serve a term of jail time. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, and my understanding is that you did not yet undergo an intake today to meet with someone from the public defender's office. Are you seeking representation on this matter from the public defender's office?
I would like to. I didn't.
Okay.
Okay,
Didn't
so the
have
court's
nobody
gonna
to
enter,
talk to.
I'm gonna enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I'm gonna set this for a hearing in person at the court. And you're gonna meet with the public defender today.
Today.
Today, as soon as I give you your next date, I'm gonna put you in a private meeting room with Mr. Harris.
Okay.
April 21st at 1:30.
April 21st at 1:30 is your date for you to appear for your hearing, okay?
Okay.
You have any questions at this time?
Would that be a Zoom call?
No, you're gonna appear in person.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
No.
Okay, you're all set. We're gonna put you in the room with Mr. Harris. Can you put him in the room, please? On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Don Gonzalez Jr. 24-02626. Is it Don Gonzalez present?
He has not checked in with me.
Mr. Harris, can you return to the breakout room to meet with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. People of the state of Michigan versus Joseph Paul Gordon, 24-02115. Hearings, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Haley Fortune McGill on behalf of the people.
Jacob Rowley on behalf of Mr. Gordon.
Okay, this matter is scheduled for a hearing today on a probation violation. Are we having a hearing?
Your Honor, request of the adjournment is which facts in this violation are so which Mr. Gordon is currently testing.
Okay, when's his next court date in that matter?
April 24th.
What is that for, a piece, preliminary exam or?
It's gotta be, pre-trial, preliminary, I don't know,
Just a felony?
yeah. I went already one time,
Is it in the circuit court?
I wanted to, so.
Is it in the circuit court or is it in the district court? He asked you a specific question for a reason. Where's your next court date at?
Starts with
District court
district.
or circuit court?
He didn't say, he just texted me on the phone,
Who did?
my lawyer.
He didn't tell you where the court date was?
He just said April 24th. He gave me an offer through a text message.
Have you appeared in court already on this?
I was at the courthouse, but I didn't have to appear. It was some paperwork, and then he told me to go. and
So
take
you're
it.
still in district court because I doubt you waived. I don't think they take paper waivers unless you sign, did you sign something waiving the matter to circuit court?
No, I don't think so. But he said that he couldn't do anything at district. He had to go to circuit.
Correct, I can recognize that, but in order for you to go to circuit, you would have to waive your preliminary examination. So the matter could be then bound over to the circuit court.
I get like 10 seconds.
Absolutely.
All right, so when I talked, first of all, I didn't know who my lawyer was. I had to call to them. And I called and they had like a little attitude. So I was on my way driving to Charlotte. Then the guy called me and gave me a text number and a phone number and told me to appear on this date. And I came to court a couple weeks ago. And then he texted me again. He said, I have an offer. I said, yeah, no. And he said, looks like the next court date is April 24th. She's got my phone. His name is like Kaau or something like that. That's his last name.
I don't know what that.
'Cause I'm on bond out there.
I can imagine that you're on bond, this is a felony, and you've appeared in that court once or twice.
Once,
on
but
this
I never,
matter?
I just appeared in like their little waiting room and I went into a room.
Likely a probable cause conference. And then,
Says an arraignment for the 24th.
okay, so their matter is, so go back up. Says you're having an arraignment in the circuit court.
Again,
That's what it says on here.
I went to jail on Friday. I got arraigned on Monday. They gave me like a bond and then I bonded out and then they told me to come back to court. When I came and I met the guy out there and he took me in a room and he said he's gonna, he said that the prosecutor had no authority at the district level.
You must have entered a waiver because it says that you did.
Okay.
It says here, felony bind over, transfer preliminary examination, and said you did that on the 12th of March. And that the matter was bound over to the circuit court for an arraignment date, April 24th, before Kelly Morton. And then your exam, it looks like is currently, I think it's, since it's in circuit court, that's. Yeah, you do have a status conference on May 16th, and then it looks like something's been rescheduled. It's been rescheduled to 5/29 from May 16th. I don't know if you just up here for this. Yeah, but that's our jurisdiction. I can't speak to theirs. Yes, I don't know. Yeah, you gotta call your attorney. When did they tell you have to appear in court?
The text message the other day, he shot me an offer. I tell him no, he said, I agree. And then he said, I'll have more at the circuit level. He said, he doesn't think they read the police report.
Yeah, but I'm asking you, when did he tell you to appear in court?
April 24th. He never gave me a time either. It's
Yeah.
like hit or miss. I call him. I'm
Okay,
just
he needs
calling
to
him.
appear April 24th. They're gonna set it after his May date though. Okay.
And the arraignment set for the 24th. Status conference 29th of May.
Do June 2nd at 1:30. June 2nd at 1:30 is your next court date. You need to make sure you appear for your Eaton County stuff,
Yeah, I
so
will.
you don't get in any issues with that, but it looks like you're scheduled to be there on the 24th, okay, of April. You have any questions at this time?
All right, you tell me the date and time of our next.
You know why you all don't know what I said? Because y'all was talking when I was talking.
Said June something.
June 2nd at 1:30.
Thank you.
No problem. And I said it for that day because it appears you have a date on May 29th in Eaton County. You have 2 dates scheduled for Eaton County, okay?
They didn't say anything. I just talked to them in text.
Yeah, because you probably have to appear for your April 24th date. If they say that's an arraignment. So our jurisdiction doesn't require you to be arraigned unless you make a motion, but every jurisdiction doesn't do that. And we used to didn't do that. So it sounds like in Eaton County, you still have to appear on the 24th, and then they'll probably give you your May 29th day.
All right, and I was prepared to go. Today, I was told,
Well, we can't move forward with this because it's essentially an allegation that you got a new case, and if that case is dismissed, this goes away.
Okay.
All right. You have any questions?
no, April 24th at 8:30, and then I got.
And then you'll come back here in June, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. On the record in the matter of Harry Jackson. Second. 24-03478 and 24-02765. You're Harry Jackson II.
Yes, ma'am.
It's like it's a family affair around here. Let's see. Okay, so you have 2 probation violation arraignments. Let's see, file number ending in 478. I don't know what this is. When was this note put in this file?
Months ago.
Okay. Okay. Let me address that right here. I have a request in summons for probation violation. The allegations are that you failed to make payments. No payments have been made. You have a balance of $125. You failed to test at EverHealth and failed to test back on January 3rd, January 11th, January 15th, January 21st, January 29th, February 4th, February 14th, February 18th, February 25. And then it says you failed to follow conditions of 24-02765. What? I also have 2765 here. And there's a request in summons for probation violation here. Allegations are that you failed to enroll in cognitive behavioral therapy at Northwest Initiative, and that you failed to enroll into a GED program at Northwest Initiative. So you have the right to have an attorney represent you for these alleged violations. And you have the right to have a contested hearing on the violations. Do you understand your right to counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, did you want an attorney to represent you? To a plea of not guilty on both of these. And note that you're requesting court-appointed counsel. You'll meet with them today before you leave. Mr. Harris is right there waiting for you.
Yes, Your Honor, I've already spoken with him and gotten the intake
Okay.
done for Mr. Jackson.
Very good. We'll give you a hearing date.
April 21st at 1:30.
April 21st at 1:30 in person for your hearing, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have any questions, we'll get you a notice to appear and then you'll be all set. You can have a seat while we get your notice. Is Joseph Gordon here?
That was.
Oh, I saw him already. A Creon Kirk here.
So Judge Grant Kirk is in custody. However, I saw a note that he may have been transferred to the county. don't know if he's back in Kingdom as of today or not.
He's not back in England. Had a 1,000 cash money bond on the 6th to be posted bond. What county is it?
I don't.
I was told Clayton County.
Clinton. Okay. It's in Clinton County. I think I'll reset so that it can be a red. April 21st there. Is it, April 21st at 1:30. On the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus John Belton, 24-02579. Yes, please.
Your Honor, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Belton, who joins us via Polycom.
Okay, and Mr. Belton, my understanding is in TRICAP.
That's correct, Your Honor. His out date is currently projected for July 17th. And he has been in their custody since, I believe, January 13th. TRICAP specifically since January 30th.
This matter was scheduled for a hearing on a violation today. What's going on? Actually, I understand the file, but let's see. Okay, yes, there was the violation that he failed to report to probation in January 2025, that he failed to make payments with a balance of $125 as of January 31st, 2025, and failed to perform 40 hours of community service within 60 days, no hours completed. Let's see. We have the hearing today.
We are not, Your Honor. I would make a request if I may.
Yes.
The first violation for failure to report in January, as I kind of alluded to, Mr. Belton has been in custody consistently since mid-January. Would ask the court to consider allowing him to plead to the other two violations without that one. We're gonna make a request for termination of probation. Again, he's serving a sentence until July.
What was his report date?
I'll be honest with you, Your Honor, I'm not told the exact report date. It just says did not report January 2025. No documentation I've been given, I believe, states the exact date that he was intended to report. There was an email that alluded to January 9th, I believe there wasn't a missed appointment, according to Ms. Bayless in one of her emails with the felony probation agent.
That would have been my understanding, because I believe he was supposed to report the second Thursday. Second Thursday. That's a Monday. I don't know why you were on Monday, but let's call Ms. Bayless and find out what his report date was. Hi, this is Judge Simmons. How are you? I have a question about John Belton. What date of was his report date? Okay, I see, let's see, do I have more than one violation? I do. Okay, failed to follow circuit court orders. Got it, okay. So the failed to report to probation in January 2025, and then there was failure to report essentially. He didn't report first orders in December, and then rescheduled. He did report for that. Then you didn't hear from him since then. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. All right. Big one. So there was a failure to report to do his scheduling appointment or orders appointment as scheduled. They did accommodate him and reschedule to December 10th, she states. And then they did not hear back after that. So no, I'm not going to withdraw number 3.
Understood, Your Honor. I'll be pleading to the violations. He didn't intend to contest these.
Is that correct, Mr. Belton? You want to plead guilty to the violations here?
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
I do.
You can put your hand down. I have violations that you failed to report to probation in January 2025, that you failed to make payments balance of $125, that you failed to perform 40 hours of community service within 60 hours, that no hours were completed as of January 31st, 2025, and that you failed to follow the circuit court probation orders on January 23, 2025. You pled guilty to a probation violation from January 13, 2025 for testing positive for methamphetamine, amphetamine, and fentanyl, and that you were sentenced to TRICAP. You understand your right to have a contested hearing on each of those violations.
Yes.
And you wish to waive that hearing?
Yes.
Has anybody making a threat to you to get you to waive the hearing?
No.
Has there been any promises extended to you if you waive the hearing?
No.
As to each of those violations that I've read, how do you plead?
Yep.
Factual basis, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Belton, is it true that on November 14th of 2024, you underwent sentencing in front of Judge Simmons?
Yes.
And at that time, you were ordered to report to probation as instructed, correct?
Yes.
Is it true that as of January 2025, specifically January 9th, you did not report as ordered to probation again?
Yes.
Is it also true that your sentencing, you were ordered to make regular payments towards your fines and costs?
Yes.
And is it true that as of today, you still have an outstanding balance of $125 and are behind on your payments there?
Yes.
Is it also true during that sentencing that you were ordered to complete 40 hours of community service within 60 days?
I thought I had until July, but yes, I'm sorry.
And is it true that as of today, those hours have not been completed?
It is.
And Your Honor, I've never received an updated report with the last violation, so I don't have the times and dates for that. Is it just for the probation violations he was found guilty of in 30 circuit on January 23rd?
Failed to follow circuit court probation orders, and then he was found guilty or pled guilty.
Mr. Belton, is it true that as of January 23rd, you pled or were found guilty of probation violations in front of Judge Jamo of the 30th Circuit Court?
Yes.
And you acknowledge that those violations constitute a violation of your probation orders here?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe that satisfies the factual basis.
Anything from the prosecution?
Nothing on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Okay, I accept your plea. You find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. You said he is now a tri-cap.
That's correct, Your Honor. His current outdate is July 17th of this year.
I'm gonna discharge you unsuccessfully. From probation. Noting that you're now in tri-cap until July. And you'll still have a balance that needs to be paid. How do you intend to pay that?
I'm gonna be going to Rise when I get out of here, and I'm planning on going back to doing union drywall, so I'll be able to pay it off.
With the,
You said
Do you have a
when?
question?
I was going to ask, would the court be willing to set a due date or a show cause hearing from about 30 days after July 17th for him to make those payments?
Where's he gonna be residing?
I'm gonna be residing in Rise.
We'll set up a show cause. Are you still holding?
No,
You're in?
yeah.
August 25th at 10.
August 25th at 10. There is room for a show cause as to the fines and costs, okay?
Okay.
You're all set for today. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
You're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you. On the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Andy Lee Scott, 25-00453. Appearance, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Haley Fortuna Gill on behalf of the people.
Raleigh on behalf of Mr. Scott.
Okay, this matter was scheduled today for pretrial for domestic violence. Is there an offer on this?
There's no offer, Your Honor.
Counsel,
You're requesting a final pretrial, Your Honor.
Final pretrial, April 28th.
April 28th, 8 a.m. in person at the court for final pretrial. 16. Jury trial is going to be June 16th, 8 a.m. also in person at the court. Do you have any questions today, sir?
There is one thing we want to address, Your Honor. On this
Well,
case.
is that a question for him that he's struck? You don't have any questions outside of what he wants to address?
I knew he was going to bring it up.
Okay, other than what he addressed, do you have any questions about what I just shared with you?
Get my stuff.
That's all he wants. You can ask your or address your issue.
Yes. We're going to request permission, Your Honor, to have a third party go to the home and retrieve some personal items from Mr. Scott.
not 100% clear as to what he's asking. It says that he's a caretaker at that location?
Yeah.
Okay, well, explain to me,
Um,
what is, this is a home?
it's a apartment.
Okay, but, and you're a caretaker for someone else that lives in that apartment? Okay, got it. And you want an opportunity to have a third party to go get your personal items from there?
Yeah.
Who is the third party?
I don't.
Okay, well, that's the first step. We gotta know who you're gonna send over there.
Yeah. Okay.
You're gonna ask maintenance to go get your things?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, well, you should probably see if they're willing to do that first, okay? I don't know if the prosecution has already had contact with the victim. If so, then you all could work out or arrange a time for you to be able to get your things. But I'll leave that to the attorneys if they want to work out time. If they can do that, then I can amend the order for you to be able to go that one time and get your things. Or if you find out that maintenance is willing to grab your things, which is
Yeah,
unorthodox, because how would they know what to get?
yeah, I can make a list. And, I just give it to them.
Sounds like they're really nice maintenance people if they're willing to take your list and go into your unit or this unit and start getting things. Since, was this a shared apartment or something? Are you on the lease there?
I was.
You're not on the lease now?
I don't know.
What do you mean? You was on the lease? Who took you off?
I guess she did. So,
Why did you guess that she took you off?
because she kicked me out.
Okay, are you talking about the no contact order or something that preceded this?
Yeah.
The no contact order is in place because the court, when there's a domestic violence, will not allow you both to live in the same unit. That doesn't mean that you've been taken off the lease though.
Oh.
So unless you have some information, maybe that preceded this, that your name was removed from the lease, and that typically requires you to say something to management, but I don't know where you're staying. I'm trying to figure out if you're on the lease or not, so that, no, the maintenance is not just going into someone's unit and the victim is not aware of this.
No, I was on lease.
Okay,
And everything. So, but, they'll do it for me.
okay, so why don't you do this? Why don't you get the maintenance man's name? And you find out if they can get permission first from the other party, because they can't just walk into her unit either.
Yeah.
And just start gathering things.
No,
So that needs to be properly arranged. And I think the attorneys need to get further information and then they can make the motion to me. You can make that request via email once you get more information, counsel, okay?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, they usually just knock on the door.
Yeah, well, if she doesn't answer. Yeah, so that means your arrangements have not been made for you to get your things. So what I'm trying to get is for you and your attorney to work with maintenance, if that's the people that you think can do it, so that maybe maintenance can call in advance and get her permission for a time for you to go in and get your things while they maybe stay at the door while you get your things, and maybe she can leave the apartment during that time. That would be a better arrangement. You can't make that contact directly, but you can have your attorney call her. The attorney can call on your behalf and say, is there a time that she can be away from the property so that my client can go get his things? That's completely fine for your attorney to do for you. And those arrangements need to be made, because right now I can't just amend an arbitrary order to let some maintenance person go into someone else's home to get things. So I need some further details
Only
first.
thing is, I ain't got my key.
I can understand that. So you're gonna need maintenance's assistance,
Yeah.
or you're gonna need your keys, one or the other, okay? So you and your attorney work that out. Your attorney will send an email to the court about the arrangements that have been negotiated, and then that will include the prosecution so that they can make any necessary objections if there's some concerns, and then I can fashion the order based on that. But right now, I don't have enough details. I don't have a problem with you getting your stuff, but we gotta do it the right way, okay? All right, so you and your attorney work on that, and then he'll let me know. Other than that, we'll see you on the 28th, okay? Thank you. Marquise Washington.
What do you think, Your Honor?
No, it's a no.
No,
I was hoping he was gonna be here because.
You and me both. I was just thinking.
I offered to eat my shoe if I saw.
I
him.
wanted to see some leather get chewed up.
Oh, Brian, oh, Brian, you guys had you guys had a bet I didn't know about. Okay, I was really hoping that we're gonna start this 24-03600 off on a fresh start. But unfortunately not, so I'll have to issue a big warrant.
Yeah, he called me a few times immediately after the last hearing. Obviously, couldn't answer when I was in court, and I've not been able to touch base with him.
Okay.
No shoe.
There's that one, and then there is. Oh, it just clicked.
Yep. I thought it would at some point. Yeah.
Marquise
Florida.
Washington.
Florida,
Of course
yeah.
not. Got it. Remand. I think he's already got a warrant.
Yep.
Maybe he's at his house in Florida.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, he's the reason I'm on the top of the bike with me. Thank you, Brian Ring, for sending me those videos every week.
Have we seen Giannina Ballerini?
She is in a treatment facility.
We have her felony file too.
She was a no-show on Thursday, I think for the same reason. So I think we just.
I don't know. Okay, let's see. I will reset this.
We wanna
30 days is fine. Yeah, figure out how to track down where she is.
I should have asked her, is this Samsung? Is this Sonia Beach now? Or we're not sure.
I couldn't find out for some reason.
Ma'am, with the cell phone in your hand and the yellow shirt and the glasses below your eyes, unmute your device so we can know your name, please. Hi. Oh, don't be sorry, but you gotta unmute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, what's your name?
Sonia Beachna.
That's how I was hoping it would be.
Okay.
We're ready to go, her, Your Honor.
May 5th. May 5th at 10, okay. Okay, on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Sonia Beachna 25-00570. Appearance, please.
Haley Fortuna Gill on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Ms. Beach now, who joins us via Zoom.
Okay, Ms. Beachna had 2 licensed dogs, vaccination matters, and you were ready to go on these, so were they resolved?
Not at this time, Your Honor. One of the dogs has been put down. We're working on getting some proof of that to the prosecutor's office, and the other dog is on a waiting list for vaccination. So we're going to be asking for about a 30 to 45 day reset for her to complete those 2 things.
You have a wait list for vaccination now, huh?
I believe the clinic she was looking at for the low income ones, she was expecting a call this morning to let her know when she'd be scheduled for, but I didn't realize she was on, didn't ask her. Ms. Beach, now, did you have a date for that vaccination?
Well, they said that I would have to have the booking money up front, which is $145, and I don't have that right now because I'm currently moving. I can possibly have that next month. And the furthest that they had was June 6th on that booking, but I don't have that money for that date. Ma'am, I'm sorry.
145 is the low income rate?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, so the next available date you'll have is June 6th.
I believe that's what she's saying is the date for the vaccination. She has to be able to pay up front to
Oh,
reserve that date.
Then how far does it, in advance does she have to pay up front? Like,
I think
oh,
at time
if she
of-
pays now, so that date might be gone now.
It's possible, yeah.
Got
because She
it.
has to pay at time of scheduling.
And you're moving when, ma'am?
I'm waiting on my housing inspection through the Lansing Housing Commission. She was on vacation when I submitted my papers. So I'm waiting for her to get back from the Lansing Housing Commission to let me know, but all my paperwork is in the Stadium Loft Apartments. The new Stadium Loft Apartments on Cedar.
So it might be a month or two before that happens if they're still processing your paperwork.
Well, it's already processed, but I'm just waiting on, it might be at least a month. And I do have the documentation that I found on Aries, the paw print from the Lansing, the Ingham County Animal Control and Shelter that they sent me when he was euthanized.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll see, I guess.
Are you looking for her current?
3200 South Washington.
No, her name was familiar, so I'm trying, so I think I had her for a landlord tenant matter.
I had a
Yes,
different
you did,
address.
ma'am. You had me through the capital city area apartments, which I had to be out on the 17th. And I was out on the 17th.
Okay, that was my concern. I want to make sure that
No, I
she's
was
not.
already out, baby. You don't have to worry about that. I was already, that's.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out how to best reset this. So you're not dealing with that, so that makes me feel better. But you're just waiting for your new apartment.
Yeah.
And who knows when exactly that will happen. I'm gonna reset this 30 days.
Thank you.
May 19th at 10.
May 19th at 10.
Yes, ma'am.
Any additional matters for the record today?
On behalf of people, Your Honor, nothing further.
Okay, you're all set for today, Ms. Beecham.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Sutter.
You're welcome, Ms. Beach. Now have a good day.
Have a good day.
Whatever paperwork she had for the dog you put down. Is there?
Okay. The record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Kamani Dion Williams, 24-01310. Council appearance.
Haley Fortuna Hill on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Jacob Rowley, on behalf of Mr. Williams.
Mr. Williams was scheduled for a pretrial. This is for malicious destruction of property. Was there an offer extended yet?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
We request some final pretrial.
Final pretrial.
May 5th at 8 a.m.
May 5th at 8 a.m. in person at the court for final pretrial. Okay, Mr. Williams?
Yes, I understand.
Jury trial June 16th.
Your jury trial will be scheduled for June 16th at 8 a.m. at this time. Do you have any questions today, sir?
No.
Okay, any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set, sir. And it looks like Selena Rodriguez was already on warrant.
Or she appeared. I spoke with her.
Yeah,
She's here. She has another.
Oh, she's another matter in warrant status.
That as well.
Selena Rodriguez.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. State of Michigan versus Selena Rodriguez, 25-00474. Appearance on that, please.
Haley Fortuna Gill on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Ms. Rodriguez, who joins us via Zoom.
Okay, Ms. Rodriguez has a child abuse fourth and malicious destruction of personal property scheduled today. Let's see, I think there was an offer for her to plead guilty to child abuse fourth, no objection to HYTA. And a file in 55th will be dismissed as well as the remaining balance here.
That is correct, Your Honor. That offer is still in contemplation. At this time, we'd ask for a final pretrial date.
May 5th at 8 a.m. in person at the court.
Trial, June 16th.
Jury trial, June 16th, 8 a.m. in person at the court. You have any questions about that file? Ms. Rodriguez, do you have any questions about that file?
No, Your Honor.
I have people of the City of Lansing versus Selena Rodriguez, 25-00449. Ms. Rodriguez failed to appear for driving while license is suspended and arraignment on March 3rd. Let's see here.
Did you say March 3rd? I'm sorry.
That's correct. March 3rd is what it says. You were to appear for a.
I was incarcerated in Eaton County till March 4th.
You were in Eaton County?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
said?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have here a citation. It's claims that on or about February 11th, 2025 at 9:48 p.m. that you were in the area upon South Martin Luther King Boulevard at or near West Allegan, which is in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan, and that you allegedly had no insurance, a civil infraction punishable by a fine, that you did operate or drive while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied, a misdemeanor, maximum penalty 93 days and or $500 in fines, and that you had a registration or plate violation. It says no registration. That's also a civil infraction punishable by a fine. There is, however, let's see, no insurance. Got two insurances here. Let's see why. And then no registration. Looks like she has more than one. So there must be another citation.
There isn't a file on for, I believe, driving while license suspended.
Okay, I have here. I just did. Oh, geez, I just one, but she has another one. I also have a citation here from August 4th, 2024. The allegations are that you were at the area at or upon East Michigan Ave at or near Cedar Street at approximately 2:20 p.m. And that you were operating with no insurance. That's a civil infraction. That you had a registration or plate violation, another civil infraction, and that you were warned, given a warning for driving while license is not valid or improper. You failed to appear for your court dates, it looks like on the invalid plate and no insurance from that date. And so default judgments were entered against you. You owe $324 on the no insurance. And you owe $198 on the invalid plate. When do you intend to pay those?
I can come in and pay it tomorrow morning.
I'll note here that you'll come in and make payment on those tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
And then, so how are we gonna proceed on the other matter that? Well, actually, she's just gonna write on that, so
Yeah,
she needs to have a intake, I don't think James is still on.
we don't need an intake for her. I just need to know whether she has to actively tell us she
Okay.
wants to apply it.
Did you want an attorney to represent you on this from the public defender's office on the driving while license suspended?
No.
You wish to proceed without a lawyer in that case, Ms. Rodriguez? If you
Yes.
apply for a public defender, you'd have me again.
No, I don't need a lawyer.
It sounds like she's getting some counsel from someone in the public. Okay, so we'll note that you're not requesting representation and that this matter will continue to pre-trial. You have the right to plead guilty, plead not guilty, or stand mute. If you stand mute, the matter will continue to a jury trial. You do have the right to jury trial in this matter and the right to require the city prove each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to question or cross-examine any other witnesses they call to testify against you, the right to call your own witnesses to testify on your behalf, and the right to present evidence that you believe show a defense to the charge of driving while license is suspended. You understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I'm gonna note that you're declining public defense counsel, and this matter will be set for a pretrial in person at the court.
Okay.
April 22nd at 10.
April 22nd at 10 a.m.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Do you have any questions at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, any additional matters? You're all set, ma'am. You're free to go, ma'am.